Welcome back to the House of Munkys. Let's talk about the 2 months we've had left, April and May, and the hard lessons we've learnt. The results don't always tell a full story, but sometimes they teach you exactly what you need to hear, and these were both them kind of months. So, good news, we stayed up, we smashed our target, but the way we finished the season raised some serious questions, because as I'm pointing out here, we were 9th, following the 6 games that came after, and we had some decent teams in that period as well that we were playing. But like I say, I'll show you all the goals and we'll reflect as I'm going along, because I just feel it was a bit of a disappointing end to what is a sensational season in the Premier League, our first season in the Premier League, and I just didn't like the way we finished. But that's been a bit harsh, because we were expected to finish 18th, as I'd shown previously in other episodes, and the fact that we finished in a decent spot is really good, and it's a testament in itself. But the way that we finish is just it's one of those, isn't it? You always focus on the negatives, and our first game of the 6 remaining games was against Brentford. They took an early lead, and there's something that you might notice, and I'll probably say anyway, is the lack of goals that the team scored towards the end of the season. We only get 2 goals out of 6 games, which just isn't frankly good enough, especially at this level. I don't know if the AI got onto the tactics, or if we fatigued, people stalled, or players stalled, or the fact that momentum kind of dropped because we'd already managed to get the necessary points that we needed to stay in the Premier League for another season. So it's one of those things that are kind of racking my brain around, but it was one of those that I think some summer investment's going to be needed, and this will be very difficult for me to where do I spend? What do I do? Where do I look to? And it all depends on who comes in for my players as well, because they've had real good season in terms of where we finished and how they played throughout that season. We might have teams knocking on the door for some of these players, because I do have minimum fee release clauses on some of them as well. So I think that's an indication of where you've got a good player, is when some of these bigger teams come in for those and meet the expectation of the minimum fee release clause, because they probably think, oh, I'm going to get a good player on the bargain here. I do the same in sense of having a look at the release clause fees sometimes when scouts have pulled it out. But yeah, as you can see in some of these games, we are losing. We're only losing 1 or 2 goals, which isn't too bad, because that means that we've got a good defence. And I'll show you at the end of the episode is where the goal difference is more or less the same. So that's a big focus for us, I think, is firepower. And I know that my tactic plays target forward, and then I bring the wide forwards in. And my wide forwards got a lot of goals, but like I say, there was something that just wasn't clicking for these games for some reason. I don't know if I needed to chop and change a little bit, or if I needed to change a bit of mentality. Sometimes it just goes that way. But we'll have a look at it over the summer, because it's going to be exciting nonetheless, having a look at how I bring people in, who I bring in, thinking about people that create chances as well, because we create loads of chances, it's just that we're not putting them away. So what am I doing wrong? So it's something to have a look at, and something I'm excited to have a look at as well, because I've never really self-evaluated in that way before in these games. This is like I say, that I'm enjoying it so much that this is the longest I've kind of gone, and I've actually transitioned into the Premier League in a way that I've not done it before. So it's quite challenging, but it's a good challenge. It's a good challenge to have, good problem to have. So yeah, it's I think this is our only win out of those 6 games against the relegated side of Wrexham, so that was good to get the expected win. And Philogene is one of my top goal scorers with 9 goals. I'll show you at the end, and the wide forward position suits him down to a T. And like I say, there's only games that we've been watching where I'm losing around 1 or 2 goals, but it's those goals that we need to either get a draw or to get the win, because only being beaten by a goal is quite disheartening, but not too bad in a way, because the defence is playing a really good game. It's just the attack, maybe possibly the midfield, are letting the rest of the team down, because I have got a young side here, and I've got to remember that I have got a young side. So this is how our season ended. So I had a friendly with Parthenope, and we won that 2-1. We drew 0-0 against Doncaster, 1-1 with Dynamo Kiev. Good friendlies to have, keep them legs fresh. Brentford 1-1, Liverpool 2-0, Hull 1-0, Chelsea 2-0. Wrexham is the only win, and Spurs was the defeat of the season. So not good form at all, like I was saying. Not many goals that we're scoring either, so it's something that I shall go away and pick my brains on, is how do we bring good talent, because I feel, yeah, we finished 11th there, and like I say, the goal difference isn't that bad. 46 goals scored, 48 conceded, so we're good defensive wise, because look at the teams around us, they're conceding quite a lot of goals, and Wrexham at the bottom, 109 goals conceded, so we weren't that bad. It's just we need a bit of firepower, a bit of maybe having a look at tactic tweaking. I don't know. I'm stubborn in that way, but maybe bringing in some good players. But we smashed expectations of the 18th, and to finish 11th, we get a bit more reward in terms of money from the Premier League, so that would be good. And Aston Villa and Man United were almost relegated as well. They managed to scrape by at the end of the season there, so it's Burnley, Hull and Wrexham that go down. Man City deserved champions, and we face another season in the Premier League, which is great. So can we do better than 11th? That's something that we're going to have to find out, something that I'm excited about. And we've already been given the squad's done really well, like I say, and we've already been given our budgets, which I'll show you in a minute. So Sam Tickle is definitely a mainstay keeper. I might look to increase his contract perhaps. Charlie Hughes, absolutely phenomenal for us this season. He's my star player. And Fabio's done a really decent job as well as a left centre back option. Mats Hansen's had such a good run up to the end of the season. Look how many teams are after him. That's going to be someone that we'll try and keep hold of, but I doubt we can. But that'll be a good profit. That'll be a good profit for us, because we only picked him up for 1.5 million from Paderborn, and Sidey Peck had a brilliant season as well, so he's going to be staying around. I'm going to keep most of the squad, I think, and like I say, if someone comes in for them that makes me think and we can find a replacement, that's the key, then I'll look. I won't hold anyone back, and then I'll definitely try and get Jurasek, because he has had a very good season with us as well on loan, so I'll see if I can initiate that loan to buy option and get him in as a right winger, because he did a good job for us this season. Good stats as well, so hopefully bring him back. And like, there's always a Saudi Arabian team after some of my players. I don't know if that's something wrong with the game, or they're just playing so well that some of these Saudi teams want my players. I'm not complaining, but trying to build something here. And Mason Burstow is on a bit of a goal drought, so we're going to have to focus on getting him back to scoring ways and assisting ways, because he's done all right there. 10 goal contributions for the team. And Thierry Small, I'm going to look to offload, because like I say, in his mental stats just aren't here for this level. And Joe Scally finished a very good season as well. All of them did, all of them. And Senny played well for us, and so did Miles Harris, who came in and did a good job when he was asked. So, we can only strengthen this team. We're going in one direction, so that is very good for me. Like I say, we got our. I'm not gonna trigger Senny may lose option to buy, because it was at 39 million, and I feel that will be all of our money on one player, which I don't want to do at this stage. It's slowly strengthening the team is my is my vision, my way that I'm going to see us progressing, and maybe bringing in some more younger players again. We'll see what my scouts have found as well, because I've trusted them quite a lot lately, because they've been finding some very good gems, and a reflection of that is in our performance of the league. And David Martinez was injured, and he's been a very good addition as well, so he's going to be an important player for us next season, I think, without a doubt. So happy with that. And then my under 21s and under 18s are looking quite good. Everyone was coming in for some of my youth players, so it'd be good to have them when they turn 18 now, loan them out, get them experience, and then bring them into the fold of the first team. And then we have our end of season review, and we've done very well, smashed expectations and avoided that relegation. I think we've also got our budget, which is 40.5 million with 41 in wage. I'm going to squeeze that down a little bit and make the wage packet a bit more lucrative, so that I keep the wage structure, because that's quite important to me at the moment. And then I was surprised to see that we've moved to Ewood Park, because the board had announced that we're going to expand the stadium. So that's a first for me, never had that in a game like this before. So that's interesting and exciting. And it'll be good to try and keep that wage structure, because that's something that I find is important this time round, because the players aren't asking for silly amounts of money all the time, or when we've been smashing expectations, they've been quite happy with what we've done. So yeah, next season is going to be avoiding relegation again and working within the budget, which I believe I can do very well. And then there's no where we need to strengthen, but it'll be an interesting summer for me to see who we can find and add to the team, strengthen this team. That's been so fantastic this season. So with that, I shall do a special transfer episode next time. So thank you for watching, take care, and stay cheeky.